News has made a big run up into third, and they're into the stretch, and it's Tis the Law on the outside of Authentic. These two stride for stride as they come to the final furlong. Authentic is dragging in. Tis the Law all out to get by him. Authentic and John Velasquez have the lead as they come down to the 16th ball. Tis the Law still trying to get him. Authentic, Tis the Law, here's the wire. Authentic has won the Kentucky Derby. John Velasquez does it with Authentic.
There you go. The big upset against the big favorite. Tis the Law, Bob Baffert, celebrating at Churchill Downs. And I'm celebrating because I got my man, The Show. Mark The Show Haider, famed horseman, famed handicapper. As you look at the end of that race there, Mark, I mean, I know you and I were both on Tis the Law. Authentic obviously was a player. That still was a shocking result.
Trains the Kentucky Derby winner, American.
I gotta agree,
justify an 18.
But I gotta give John Velasquez a lot of credit. He decided to give his horse the best shot to win, and that was getting on top early in the race, using his speed as a weapon. It made for a difficult trip for Tis the Law. And when they turned for home, even though Tis the Law had every chance to go by, JR and Authentic had too much left.
Yeah, it was just one of those things where you know it was an incredible race. Tis the Law, I thought, had a great chance in this just insane year to win the Triple Crown. It did happen, but now we got the Preakness. And before we do anything here, I just want to show this race again at the end. It is a special edition of the Task Force brought to you by our great friends at AmWager. We're going to get into all the things they're offering for this weekend at Pimlico, the Preakness, including a free $10 bonus just for signing up. No deposit needed, no risk, nothing like that. So I'll tell you this right now. It's one of these things where, you look at this crazy year, Mark, and I wonder, how people like you are feeling with this reverse Triple Crown and just how things have gone. That obviously we're still going to have all three races, but you've been doing this for a long time. It's pretty crazy year, isn't it?
Nuts. As a horse player, we're still getting the action. We're still seeing the returns. We can handicap these races. The ones that it really costs are the horsemen. They plan all year. They get their 2-year-olds ready, and they point for the Derby. Tis the Law. Had this race been run in the normal year, Tis the Law would have won the Derby. He was ready that day, but now he's not going to be a Derby winner, and that's going to affect his value. It's going to affect the lives of those that own the horse. On the other hand, those that own Authentic, this horse wouldn't even have been ready to run for the Derby. He wasn't ready, but he developed because the race was 5 months later. So I guess it's just a lesson in life. You just don't know for sure what's happening next.
That's true. All right, well, let's talk, first about this show tonight. AmWager is bringing this to a great sponsor of the Task Force. You see the numbers down there right now, the telephone number. You can sign up at amwager.com. If you put in the promo code Task Force, you get a free $10 bonus just for signing up. No deposit needed. You also get up to a $100 match bonus. If you whatever you end up putting in, $50, they'll match you to $50, $100, match to $100. So that's obviously a great deal. You always want free horse money, Mark. So check out all that stuff. And we love being, connected with our friends at amwager.com. But it's one of these things, Mark, where you look at this race coming up, and we're going to take a look at the lines as they are right now. No, obviously, Tis the Law in this race. Talk about Pimlico, what it's like there. Let's go over some of these horses. Obviously, here's some of the odds for you. The favorite Authentic at 9-5 right now. Our Collector at 5-2. Swiss Skydiver 1,000 words at 6-1. Mr. Big News 12-1. New York Traffic 15-1 along with Max Player. Pneumatic 20-1. Accession 30-1. Jesus' team, which I don't know much about anyway, is 30-1. And Live Your Beast Life is 30-1. What can you tell people about what Pimlico is like and what this race will be like. The fact that it's being held in October, that it's normally held in May, it's just crazy.
Well, Pimlico's an older track. There was some talk about moving the Preakness from Pimlico, but they're going to there, I guess, for this year. I don't know for how much longer. There's somewhat of a myth that the configuration of the track is somehow drastically different than Churchill. There is some difference, but for the most part, the track is configured somewhat the same way. This race will be a little shorter than the Derby. This will be run at 1 mile and 3/16. Generally speaking, people think that's going to favor the speed. That would favor horses like your favorites, the 3 Art Collector and the 9 Authentic. A lot of this race is stoked in a lot of tradition, and I know it's going to be an exciting race, and I would say it's going to come down to those 2 horses.
When you look at what obviously Authentic was able to do in the Derby, and you mentioned obviously Art Collector, when you look at these kind of horses, these top level horses, of course, Art Collector trained by Tom Drury Jr. And you look at what Authentic's been able to do under Bob Baffert, and you mentioned John Velasquez, the jockey who just gave such a great ride to beat Tiz the Law in the Derby. For the people, and actually we had a great question here from Glenn Porcho, who's saying, how about people who are first-time horse race bettors? Let's talk about that for a minute. How important are, as they call them, connections, Mark? You've been in this game for a long time. I mentioned, obviously, Baffert, Authentic, Drury Jr., Art Collector. You've got, obviously, other very big-name trainers. Baffert obviously trains 1,000 Words as well. Steve Asmussen trains Max Player as well as Mnemonic. How important is what we call connections in the horse business, as well as the great ability of a jockey? I had someone put it to me once, Mark, that if you got a race car, the race car can be great, but it's only going to be driven as well as the guy behind the wheel. And that's obviously what a jockey is.
True. But if if you've got a Ferrari and another guy's got a Pinto, the Pinto's not going to beat the Ferrari. I don't care how good the driver is. So these jockeys, they come into play. They can make. They're worth 2 to 3 lengths on a good day, plus or minus. You understand?
Right.
And oftentimes that's the difference in the race. So these high-level trainers, these high-level owners, they're putting the best guy forward that they can. Now, like I say, that Derby, Manny Franco, he's an up-and-coming rider. He's a great young rider. But JR, I think, schooled him a little there in the Derby. If Tiz the Law and Authentic meet down the line, I'm probably betting Tiz the Law. I still think he's probably the better horse. But Authentic really got a lot out of that race, I believe. And because traditionally the Preakness is 2 weeks after the Derby, he's had 4 weeks. So, the chances of him bouncing are diminished. Obviously, Baffert being a high-class trainer, he's not going to put this horse out there if he's not ready to deliver a top performance. I do think it's interesting that 1,000 Words is coming back, because I think Baffert had high hopes for 1,000 Words. But I really believe that stretch run, he showed a lot, Authentic. A lot.
Mark, let's talk about this, because we kind of alluded to it earlier. And you're someone that I love horse racing, but you've taught me a lot yourself. You've been in this game for a long time. I have such respect for your handicapping ability, for how much you know about these tracks, about these drivers for harness, jockeys and trainers, and just the way to put together bet structures and exotics and make yourself a lot of money, which is a lot of fun. But I wanted to ask you, you did this for a long time. To have a reverse triple crowner, a seesaw triple crown where you have the Belmont, which is normally last start, and then you've got the Derby, which is normally first in the middle, and the Preakness normally in the middle last, and all of them spaced crazy apart from each other. What has this year been like? And obviously, it's been a crazy year in life and in this world of sports. But for someone like you, a longtime horseman, a longtime handicapper, has this been a year where it's been more frustrating to handicap, where you've been more grateful that there's been horse racing before there were a lot of other sports? What has it been like for you as you get ready for the Preakness?
Well, horse players have been fortunate because nowadays you can bet online, as you're doing here with Amwager. So you don't have to be at the racetrack anymore. And quite frankly, the hiccup has been smaller, so to speak. I mean, they've done a good job of controlling the environment around the racetracks. So the quality of the races hasn't suffered at all. The horses are, the athletes here, they're not aware of the COVID situation. So as a horse player, I've actually had more time because there's no other sports to watch, or at least up until recently, there haven't been any other sports to watch, and they've delivered a steady diet of horse racing, even in the worst of the times, say in April and May. Now there were a lot of tracks closed, but it did give some exposure to the smaller tracks that experienced record numbers, and their product even got better, believe it or not, because things really worked out for horse racing. It was a chance for horse racing to elevate itself, and hopefully they'll learn from this and understand that the better the product, the more handle they're going to get.
Yeah, and it's like you said, it's kind of been it's been a renaissance in many ways when it comes to horse racing. And I feel like it's one of these things where this is a great year for just regular horse betting, but the Triple Crowns, we know, always have that funny money mark. They always bring in people that are betting on horses' names and colors and whatever. But I feel like, as you mentioned, and I know for me, someone that works in sports media, that loves the fact the NBA came back, NFL's back, and that's all fantastic. But that for a long time, you mentioned some of the other tracks, the Fodder Parks and the Los Alamitos. They were some of the few tracks that were open for months and months until the last couple of months. It really has been kind of a saving grace for many of us that love sports, that love the wager and all that kind of stuff. And that's why, in a way, it's kind of sad that the Triple Crown's ending, even though it's happening in late September, October now, for the first time since World War II when it's been mixed up. That being said, I think that you have the ability, right, don't you, Mark, with so much extra money on top of what normally would happen on the Preakness, there's a lot of value in making some wagers, whether it's taking an authentic or taking an art collector or doing an exotic. There's going to be, there's always tons of money in the pools, but there's been such a crazy year. There's been seemingly more money in the pools going forward with these big races.
Well, I would say, the luster is off, so to speak, in that the Kentucky Derby winner, his name's authentic. Unless you're a serious horse player, you really don't know who won the Derby. But when a horse like I'll Have Another won the Derby,
right?
People that weren't horse players, they knew who won the Derby. They knew the Preakness was coming. They got excited about horse racing, even though they weren't horse players. When Justify or American Pharaoh, after they won that first race and displayed some greatness, the casual fan jumped in and followed. Right now, I don't think the casual fan is following authentic, okay, because of the craziness of the year. Yes, the horse player like me, the sports fan like you, the gambler that's looking for value, Saturday will be a day to look for value, and you'll find it. It's there. There's pools, and there's a chance to make a score that that can change your life, at least your year, maybe your next 5 years. But there's a chance to make a life-changing score, no question about it.
Before we get into your picks on that, a couple comments I want to throw out here. First, Glenn mentioned, I wish Metro Detroit would build a good racing track. Mark, I know for years there was obviously DRF. We've had tracks, hardest tracks. There is that rumor, and I know our good friends at Amwager, which I want to bring in here again in a second and let you know how to get signed up and get a free bonus. There are talks right now, I can't reveal everything, that there is going to be a thoroughbred track in the area, the Metro Detroit area. Amwager will be involved in certain ways, possibly. I mean, I can't get into the specifics, but thoroughbred racing could be coming back to Metro Detroit. It sucks that it's not here right now, right?
Absolutely. Yeah. There's something about the on-track experience that really can't be duplicated. It's the poor man's country club, so to speak. It's a place to, grab a hot dog, a beer, talk with some friends, express your opinions about the races. Now, Saturday, with these big races Saturday, I don't know what you're up to Friday night, but I'd be willing to grab the form on Friday and go through those races and maybe help some of your people that are watching your show make a score on Saturday.
Sure.
I can give you some picks. I can give you some analysis, and maybe put some people in the right direction. But one thing people should know about horse racing: it isn't easy to pick winners, and it's even more difficult to find value. But the thing about it is, it's kind of like a baseball player. They're not going to get a hit every time up, but the best ones, they're going to get those hits, and they're gonna turn a profit for you, and that's what we're out to do.
That is. I want to throw this up there too. This is for a Facebook user. I think we might know who this is, Mark. The show is so good, has such a great reputation, that when I was in Vegas 2 years ago, my girlfriend and I were betting on the mechanical horse game. And she says, in all seriousness, quote, call the show and ask him which horse is going to win. That's how good you are. You can even pick old style Vegas mechanical horse games. I mean, that's pretty high praise, Mark.
Okay. I think your friend needs some help, but that's okay.
Well, I think we all do. By the way, you mentioned what I'm doing on Friday. I'm coming over to look at the racing form with you at your great house right on the golf course. By the way, Glenn also, and we had other questions, other guys and girls asking this too. Asking how safe online betting is compared to the in-person, face-to-face betting when it comes to horses. Now, I'll say this, and I'll let you add on to my point. Right now, it is illegal to bet on sports online in this country. It doesn't mean that people don't do it. Horse racing is completely legal. And before I let you expand on that, Mark, because I know you've been betting online on horses for a while, let me just let everyone know. This show obviously is brought to you by our friends at Amwager. They are one of those online sites based on what state you're in. I mean, there's certain states that it's not legal, but I know where we're at, both you and I, Mark, in Michigan, and so many other states, they are actually licensed out of the Oregon Racing Commission, just like Twin Spires is. They have incredible customer service. I've dealt with them for over a year now. They're based in Portland, Oregon, and you get the same pool as the bets made at the track. So I know you're someone that has bet online legally for a long time. Horse racing is different than betting on basketball and football and baseball. Now, we're here in Michigan. There's casinos here now that are having sports books. Eventually, there'll be mobile betting. That'll make that legal. Offshore betting on sports, aside from horses, is not legal in the United States. That being said, the horse racing is legal, and it's been that way for a while now. So just let everyone know, because you're more experienced in this than I am, and I've always loved doing this, but it's a different situation when it comes to betting on horses on your phone or on your laptop or iPad than it is betting like in the NBA, because it's completely legal to bet horses based on your state, and I know where we're at, it's completely legal.
Well, the nice thing about betting legally online is that it's safer for you, okay? Number one, you don't have the hassle of getting into line. Number two, you don't have the possibility of screwing up your tickets by the person punching the tickets. Sometimes you say 2, they hear 3, and it causes mistakes. It causes hard feelings. When you're online or on the phone, there's a way that they verify your bet,
Right.
and the chances of making a mistake. I'm not saying a mistake is never made, but I would say you're cutting mistakes down by 95%, so that your wager is you're getting the wager you want, and you're not waiting in line. You're then the other nice thing is if there's a late scratch or a mistake and you've thrown away your ticket because you thought you had a loser and there was an objection or an inquiry and your horse gets put up, you don't have to run around looking for that ticket and be, all upset that you lost your ticket. Boom, it's going right into your account. And if there's a scratch, meaning a horse that's taken out of a race for an injury or for some other reason, you're going to get your money back. You're going to have a complete accounting of your bets. You can see exactly what you've bet, what you punched in, if you won, if you lost, and what you were paid. So it's a lot cleaner process.
Yeah. And by the way, when you're betting on your phone or online, they literally let you bet up to the second that race goes off. You can cancel tickets. You mentioned it's not like you have to wait in line and go back and forth and miss out on a bet. You can obviously track, and we're going to show everyone how easy it is to wager on the AmWager software in just a little bit here after we give our picks for the Preakness. But it really is, it's amazing because, Mark, I think it makes it so much more valuable for the bettor. It gives you a better chance of making money, and you have better tools at your disposal to be able to kind of see. And we'll show you on the AmWager software, they've got a feature where there's true odds and the actual odds. And let's say a horse's odds are 5-1, but the true odds are 8-1. There's some value there, or vice versa. Let's say a horse is 3-1, but its true odds are 1.5-1. So it gives you all these things at your disposal. You can bet on multiple tracks. And I feel like hasn't that really, based on what you've done in your past, years of betting on horses, it's changed the game and made it for people like me that don't have the experience and wherewithal that you do to make a lot of money.
Yeah, that's true. And the nice thing about this form of gambling is it's not chance. You're in the game, so to speak. You're making decisions, and they're not decisions based on, well, I mean, every horse bettor has their own system, and you can build your own system. And that's what I like about it. You're figuring out a puzzle. You're applying your principles to your handicapping. And if you stay disciplined, you got a good chance of success.
Yep, that's well said. All right, before we get into our picks for the Preakness, I just want to let everyone know again that our great friends at AmWager bringing you this show tonight. They're a big sponsor of the task force. All you have to do is go to amwager.com right now or in the next couple of days for the Preakness. If you go and sign up and put in the promo code task force, you get a free $10 deposit bonus without even having to put anything in. There's no deposit needed. No deposit bonus. You get $10 for free. And also on top of that, if you want to put in 50 or 60 or 80 or 100, they'll match it up to $100 on whatever your first, deposit is. Use that promo code task force. Get involved tonight. All right, Mark, let's take a look at this again here. And if you give everyone, because you are, as the previous comment said, the top level expert of experts, who do you like in the Preakness, and do you have an exotic for everybody?
Well, I'm sorry that I can't give you a big price, but I think it's going to come down to Art Collector and Authentic. I'm going to wait to see what the odds are, because you can get surprised. This Art Collector, he's shown that he has talent, and he may be close to the favorite as well. But if he's a good second choice, meaning 5-2 or better, I think I'll use him a little heavier, and I'm going to throw in the filly. There's a filly in this race, I'm going to put her in the 3rd spot and swing her in the superfecta in the 4th spot. Her name, the filly's name is Swiss Skydiver.
Yep.
A very serious horse. And I think she's going to do fine. She drew near the inside. She drew the 4-post. And she's trained by McPeak, who is a Kenny McPeak, who is a very successful trainer. He's very high on this filly. He wouldn't put this filly in this race if he didn't think she was a serious contender. Her last race sets her up well for this race. So I'm going to be using the 3 and the 9 with the 4, and hopefully that'll create some value. And hopefully when they're coming down the stretch, you'll see those numbers. The day before is what's called the Black-Eyed Susan. That's kind of the 3-year-old filly version of the Kentucky Oaks. That's how they do it here in horse racing.
Is there a double, by the way? Is there a blue? Is there a double?
Yeah, there'll be
like the Oaks, the Derby double.
There'll be what's called the Black-Eyed Susan, which is the day before the filly race, and the Preakness double. And I'm not, if you like I say, well, no, we even if we do a show Friday night, that they'll have run that race already. But
we can still give them a lot of stuff for the next day. We'll have a lot more information on Friday.
Saturday, there's going to be a lot of money bet on Saturday. I can tell you that.
All right. So for me, and I'm with you, I think that it's a 3. I mean, I like our collector to win this race. I think that, obviously there's going to be a great chance for Authentic. How do you go against Baffer? But I think you just have a little better value there with our collector. We'll see what the odds are. I mean, it's not far off, but I think you take our collector to win. You take the 3 to win, but I like an exacta 3-9-9-3, exacta box 3-9. But also, I'm going to do a try with 3-9, 3-9. So our collector and Authentic, our collector and Authentic. And I like where you're going with Swiss Skydiver, but I'm also going to add in Max Player in 3rd and 2nd. So I just think that Asmussen's trained that horse really well. It showed a lot of value, at different times in its career. You're getting, it's a 16-1 horse right now, or 15-1, so it could change. But that's where I'm going with the win and the exotics. Mark, why don't we do this? Because there's no other way to do it than to show people and have fun with us. Let's make a live wager that if we win, you and I split this 50-50, even though it's my account. I don't care. Let's make a live wager. I know you're a fan of Mountaineer, and that way we can show people just how easy it is to bet online for horses legally and bet online at Amwager. What are you? Let's see what we got here. We've got Mountaineer. I want to see. I know that they're on the 5th race when we started the show. And by the way, for people that don't know, Mark is so advanced that he gets the racing form. He's got. Don't you have a guy deliver that to you with your morning coffee? You have like a bagel delivery with the horse racing form. You have your own butler. So let's take a look at Mountaineer. We've got race 5 coming up in 11 minutes. And I just want to quickly show people, Mark, before we get into what we're going to do in this race. Okay. This is the Amwager Pro software. They've got Plus software. We'll take a look in a minute at that. But it's just like I'm not someone that's even close to his experience as Mark, the show is. But I know how to use this software because it's so easy. And there's, as I mentioned, so many cool things about it. So first, you've got, for example, this race, all the horses right there. You've got your ability to make your win bets, your place bets, your exacta bets, your try bets, pick 5, all that stuff. But then down here I mentioned a great feature that Amwager has is they've got the odds, the current win odds, and the true odds. So this horse, the 1 North Latitude, currently 16-1, but its true odds based on the pool and different values is 20-1. And then it also shows you, of course, how much is being bet in the pools, how much money's on each horse right now. You got all the different, win charts and win tables. It really is fascinating. So that's a really cool thing. And then also, for every track, they have 450 of them. There's live video, so you can watch the race that you bet on up to the second. So, Mark, kind of briefly take people through looking at this race, how, maybe the novice can quickly handicap a race, not get too crazy about it. And let's make a live play on air right now.
All right. I did skim this horse while you were giving that, or this race while you were giving that explanation. And the 8 horse is a strong favorite. It is going to be tough to beat, even with these low-level claimers. There doesn't look to be any real surprises. The jockey on this horse is got a lot of experience at Mountaineer. The numbers for his horse, the way he grades out, are much stronger than any other horse in the race. He likes to go the mile distance. He's earned he's earned more than anybody in the race. So you have to start there. Yes, he's going to be around even money. So you got, you're better off, I guess, betting a football game if you're betting a horse.
But we're not going to, there's no football tonight, so we're going to bet this race.
Yeah.
Are you leaning towards a try, a snooper? What are you leaning towards?
We're going to look for an exacta, meaning
all right, I like it.
The first and second place, and there you can find value. Okay. And in this race, I would say that it's going to be either the 6 or the 7 that I'm going to go with. So you take a look, you see that both horses this year have not won a race. Of course, that's the condition of the race, which is these horses. None of these horses have won a race this year. They haven't won since last September at a minimum. So recency, you'd have to lean towards the 6. He hasn't run the mile distance in quite a while, but the 10-1, the current 10-1, now 9-1 odds means that you're probably looking at close to a $16, $17 exacta, which is decent.
Right.
So I would play an 8-6 exacta, and I would also play a that would be like a $6 bet. And then I would play a $1 try key, and that would be another $6. I'm not going too expensive, am I?
No, not at all. Let's do this first. Let me show people really quick. I'm going to do the exacta, as I mentioned. It's up here. You put on the EX. Obviously, they got all the values there. So Mark likes the 8, and I'm with you on this. And you mentioned that jockey that has been there, that's got a lot of experience there, Yuri Urenga. Yuri Urenga. I remember his name by looking at the form for Mountaineer. And then we're going to take Tropical Runnings, whose odds went from 10-1 to 8-1 just while we're talking. So, Mark, you're moving the line like Ace Rothstein. So we're going to do that for $6. And all you do is you go, the price is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 10, 20. The easy ones are there. We're going to do it for 6. You go to other, put in enter amount. You're there. You go right here to place the bet, and that's it. And it's that. Well, I got to move up my screen here. And that's how easy it is. You go over here, place bet, and you submit it, and the bet's in. By the way, all the active bets show right over here. Your closed bets, your active bets, everything's right there. That's all right. So then you said you want to go with a try here, Mark. By the way, our good friend Judge Dredd is watching right now. Now, he's a guy that likes to chart races, but he says that there's no better handicapper than you in the Western Hemisphere. That's high praise, Mark. It's a very high praise by Judge Dredd. How do you feel about that?
Hey, I'll take any compliment I could get. But
one more.
He's got a hell of a system, too. He can come up with some very nice price plays.
It's giving me a lot of winners. We have a Facebook user saying $600 purse. You see the show, it raises for 100 times that. That's why you're the best. All right, so what are we going to do? We're going to do a try. Tell me again what we're going to do with the try.
All right, we're going to put that 8 on top, and we're going to
there's the try.
It's called a try key. And we're going to put 3 horses under them. We're going to go with the 4, 6, and 7. That'll cost you $1 try key will cost you $6.
And there's the 50 cents. We're going to change it to $1, and we're going to put that in. So there's the 8. And by the way, tries right there. 7, 6, 4, and then obviously you place the bet. And I mean, Mark, like I said, making this kind of wager and or using this kind of software. And I know there's other sites too, but I think Wagers got the best. They got the best info too. It's so simple and it's so much fun. And like I said, you go back to this, and the race. We'll watch this race as it goes off. The race is right there. It's right there. So you can watch all these different tracks they have. There's live free video. It's awesome. All right. Did you want to do anything else?
Let's see what.
Because if so, why don't you pick one more bet to make on this race if you want, unless I want to go to another track. But I want to show everyone the Plus software because this is obviously a little more kind of streamlined, and it shows again all the tracks. Every track's got video. So if you want to go to Batavia Eve, which is a harness track, if you want to go to Rosecroft, if you want to go to Southland Twy, which is a Greyhound track, or Tri-State Eve or Mountaineer, it's got all the tracks we're talking about. Later tonight, we'll have Australia. Emerald Downs is going on right now, Penn National. And you're able to literally click on the track and either watch the video. I mean, obviously, you make your wagers and watch the video too. Do you want to stick with Mountaineer, Mark?
Sure.
All right, so let's go here. We'll go to Mountaineer. We got 3 minutes to post. It shows the video right there. I'm going to take that off for you so we can hear ourselves. All right, what are you thinking here on this race? I mean, this wager.
Well, you want to get you want to fool around a little. Play a 50-cent pick 5.
All right, let's do a pick 5. So you go to the pool that you want to bet in. There's a pick 5, and we're going to do a 50-cent. Let's see. Is that 10? Are they allowed a 10-cent try or no? So you got to put in
pick 5.
Yeah, pick 5. It should already show you what it is. Okay, so yeah, let's do that. And we don't want. You know what? It didn't set that up. I got to go to the pick 5 here. Is there? Yeah, there's a pick 5 in this race.
Right.
All right. So what are we going to do for the first one?
Put the 8 in there.
All right. I've never done a pick 5 on the Plus software, so bear with me here. I've done it a lot on the Pro. All right. So there's the 8 for race 5. What are we doing for race 6?
And then in race 6, why don't you put the 6 horse in there?
All right. The 6 horse is Serve, right?
All right. And then in the 7th race, use the 8 and the 9.
All right. All right. What do we got in the 8th?
And in the 8th, let's single. Let me see what this trainer is.
And by the way, while you're looking at that, just so everyone knows, pick 5s, pick 6s, pick 3s, pick 4s. That's where you're picking the winner of 3, 4, 5, or 6 winners of races in a row. And this is also, Mark, where you can let everyone know you hit was it a Gulfstream, if I'm not mistaken?
Yeah.
Gulfstream pick 6 for. Why don't you let everyone know how much that pick 6 you got for? How much it was for?
It was a lot of money.
You don't want to say what it was?
It was $414.
Yeah, not $414. $414,000. All right, so here we are. So where are we at? We're going to go into race 8. What do we got for race 8?
For race 8, we have the.
How about Cigar Box? No, I'm just kidding.
No, I had.
My dad would like that horse.
Race 8, we're going to go with the 6.
All right, Keen on top. I like it.
Yeah.
And what's going to close it out for us in race 9? A lot of times you want to have multiple horses in case you're still alive.
Let's go with the 3 and the 1.
All right, the 3
and the 1. It's not going to be an
1.
expensive ticket. That's going to be like a $2 ticket or something for you. If we hit this one, we're going to make national news.
Heck yeah, we are.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so there you go, and that's how you're able to put it in, and it's an $8 ticket.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you know what? It's having me do it for $2.
No,
like I said,
50 cents. It's only $2.
Yeah, $2. All right, here we go. It's a pretty solid pick 5 tickets.
Mm-hmm.
You know what? I'll do it for 1. So
I've seen guys spend $2,000 on a pick 5 ticket and miss. That's how tough
really?
it can be. Oh yeah, absolutely.
All right, so we're in, and then you follow that along here. It's pretty fantastic. All right, so I'll tell you this, Mark. I think that this is the kind of time where people are looking for entertainment. It's very inexpensive to bet on horses. Obviously, people spend a lot of money, but you don't have to. And doing the wagers we just made, I think it's just a lot of fun. And it's a great way for people to kind of get involved with stuff right now. And you got the Preakness coming up. You and I will hopefully maybe do a short show on Friday night to get people ready for that. You got all these different tracks going on right now. What do you want to say to the people again? Novices, guys like Glenn that were weighing in, that are interested in this kind of stuff, don't want to spend a lot of money. You've been doing this for such a long time and have such a respect level by so many. What would you tell the amateur or the novice that's getting involved, that loves the action, that loves horses, but doesn't necessarily know a ton of the tricks like you do? What's the best thing for them to do to start off?
Well, I would say set a budget and then get familiar with the racing form. If you have friends that are involved in playing the ponies, talk to them, get their thoughts. But in the end, develop your own system. Trust your handicapping. You will, if you hone your skills, you'll get better at it, and you'll actually become stronger.
To get a half length in front of Factum's Reward.
Oh, they're going, huh?
Yeah, let's get to that. I wanted to make sure we had time. All right, here we go. So as I said, you can watch these races right here. And we've got our horse is in first, Mark. There's Donimo.
The favorite at even money runs to the 3/8 pole by almost a length.
So remember, we have an Exacta,
back along the inside,
an 8-6 Exacta, and an 8-4-6-7, 4-6-7 try. So let's see what happens here. The 4's right there,
but still way off this leader.
There comes the 6, Mark.
Back in behind them comes Paddy's Mischief and Black
Watch, you barely have to look at a 4 and win a race, possibly. I don't like that 3 though. Get the 3 out of there.
No, that 3 might hurt.
Second, and then Puny.
Hold on, it's slowing down. The 3's dying a little bit there.
Is well out in front. Ryder has a
but the 8's going to win easy, as you predicted. And if we don't hit it, we don't hit it. But that's how easy it is. That much fun it is. I think that 3 just was purposely trying to screw us tonight, wasn't it? You had the 8-6-7. It was all there.
Yeah, the 3 was kind of the logical. I was looking for a little bit of price, to be honest.
Yeah, but explain that to people. The 3, by the way, came off at 4-1. The other horses you had were much better odds. Explain that, yeah, there's certain times where you're going to want to go with some chalky horses and maybe bet a little more money. But to make a ton of money on small wagers, you've got to do what you just did there. Explain what trying to find that value means to the average bettor.
Yeah, well, for most of the time, I'm looking to try to make as much as I can with betting as little as I can. Okay, bet a little to win a lot. That's what you're hoping to do. But some races, like we were talking about the Preakness earlier, those 2 horses in my mind, they stand out. If you're going to bet the race, unless you have some reason that you can point to that you really feel strongly about, you have to sometimes just take what they give you or skip the race. Now, the Preakness is a big race. I'm not skipping the race. I'm going to try to make value out of that 3-9 combination. I might play it boxed, and then I might play one way hard, meaning, box the 3-9 and bet double on the 3 with the 9 second, and then play a try or a super with that 4 horse, that Swiss Skydiver that I was talking to earlier.
Right.
And in this race, again, the 3 did look good, but they're bad horses. Okay, this race here at Mountaineer. So
yeah, $6,900 purse. That's nothing.
Yeah, the church or the lower value horses don't always hold their form as well. Now that 8 horse, like I said, his numbers were stronger than anybody. He looked like he was ready to run. I wasn't going to get off of him. He proved that he won easy. The 3 gave him a little bit of a struggle till the top of the stretch, and then it was pretty much over. Our 6 came on respectably. Our 4 was there, and it would have been a good payoff for 4 to 5 shot in the winning spot. So that's how you approach these races. Look, sure, we're gambling, we're having fun, but we want to win some money if we can. And we want to maximize our chances to win money. So oftentimes, if it looks like a simple 1-2, I'm going to throw the 2 out and go for a price in that second spot, that I can make a strong case for. And that's 6. I can make a case for him. I felt confident he'd hit the board.
Hey, it's right there.
And then what you got to understand about horse racing, you're going to win more than you lose event wise, but you hope to make it up in return. Okay. Nobody's going to pick winners every race. It's not going to happen. Don't even think it's going to happen. But if you can lose 10, win 1, and come out ahead, then you're betting the right way. Anybody can pick the favorite every race. They'll win 3 out of 10 times, and they'll be losing money for sure. The only way you're going to make money is to find value and beat favorites, or beat that logical horse behind the favorite on a somewhat consistent basis.
Beautifully explained. And I'll tell you, you gave me, this was a couple months ago. You gave me you took a straight exacta, and I think you had if I'm not mistaken, a 35 or 40 to 1 on top. The favorite on the bottom. You didn't even do boxing. You just took it straight. And that, I think you did it for $25 and won 2,000. So you know what you're doing. Obviously, the average person's going to take them time, but that's such great advice. 2 things I want to do before we go. And Mark, I thank you so much, as always, for joining us. There's no one better to talk horses with than you. And you've helped me a lot in my ability to make some cash for my Monster Energy drinks and others betting horses. But I want to know what that beautiful picture is behind you. I think it's from a very famous race. And is this what you call your horse room? Is this where you do most of your horse thinking?
Well, I'll tell you, that picture's very special to me. It was one of the biggest bets I made at the time. It was back in 1989. And I fell in love with this horse, a horse by the name of Sunday Silence. And there was a horse being touted for the Derby by the name of Easy Goer. And Easy Goer was the best in the East Coast, and Sunday Silence came from California. He was the best on the West Coast.
Yep.
And he was trained by Charlie Whittingham. So in the Derby, I made a pretty big bet for me back then on Sunday Silence, and he beat him. And I was really happy. So when the Preakness came up, I played a huge perfecta for me at the time, the biggest bet I had probably placed in my life. And this was a heart thumper to the end. When they hit the wire, they couldn't call the winner. And then when they put him up, I remember I was on a payphone because I can't remember where I was going, but I stopped and called a friend from a payphone because I didn't have a cell phone back then. And I said, just let me hear the race. And I listened to that race. And then we waited on the phone. They put him up. And then later that year, I was reading the racing form, and the artist was selling these prints. So I have what they call an artist print of this, and I got it framed, and it's a great memory. It's a great memory.
That's great. Those moments, by the way, it's a beautiful picture. Those moments, by the way, when you're waiting to see if your horse won or lost, are some of the most brutal but also beautiful moments ever. I need to know, because you mentioned this was probably back during your highfalutin softball days with our good friend Jeff Lesson, who I guess was the league MVP, and also was accused of being on steroids. No, I'm kidding. But how much did that exacta, you call them refactor, but that's obviously an exacta. How much did that pay back then?
If I remember, the $2 exacta paid like $13, if I remember correctly. And I had
if you had a large wager on that, you're making a lot of money.
Well, like I said, for me, it was a big bet at the time. Yeah.
I like it. All right. Well, listen, we got the Preakness this weekend, 5:45 on Saturday. The show, by the way, gave you earlier. He likes Art Collector, Authentic, but you on top, you have Authentic. You think Authentic's the key, the 9-horse, right?
Well, like I said, if you're going to get 5-2 on Art Collector or more, then I'm playing Art Collector. You understand?
Yep.
If they go off, 6-5, 9-5, I'll go with Authentic. But if Authentic goes 4-5, 3-5, and Art Collector's 5-2, I'm going to take the 5-2.
Yep. And underneath, you like Swiss Skydiver. I like Swiss Skydiver as well as Max Player, and that should be a lot of fun. And as we mentioned, Amwager is bringing this show to you tonight. Don't forget to go there right now or the next couple of days. Amwager.com. Sign up, put in the promo code Task Force. It's right there on your screen. You get a free $10, no deposit needed. You just get $10 to do whatever you want with. You win it, you win $1,000, you get your $1,000. But also, if you want to deposit on top of that $10 free bonus, who doesn't want free money, just let them know your deposit. You put up $50 in, they'll match it up to $50. Put $100 in, they'll match it up to $100. So up to $100 match bonus, Amwager.com on your first deposit. So please go there. It's going to be a great weekend. They also have daily rewards on top of the bonuses and the no deposit bonuses. And they're a great partner of ours. So we really appreciate them bringing you the show. And, of course, the show being on the show. Mark, I can't wait for the Preakness. Are we having a big outdoor socially distanced barbecue like we did for the Derby on Saturday? Are we allowed in the domain?
I'm going to try to make that happen. I got to see what the hell's going on, but there's a strong possibility.
Well, anytime I get to spend time with you, either on the golf course, at your house, or betting horses, is a great time. Oh. Mark, thanks so much. Seriously, you're an expert for a reason. We love having you on, and thanks so much for joining us tonight.
Have a good evening.
All right, for Mark Haider, the show. I'm Dan Leach. Go ahead, Mark.
Bet the Heat.
How many are the Heat going to win the finals in? How many games?
The Heat in 6.
And see, I got the Lakers in 6. We're opposite a rare time. All right, he's Mark the Show Haider. I'm Dan Leach. This has been a special edition of the Task Force Preakness Preview brought to you by our great friends at Amwager. Get there right now for that $10 instant deposit or no deposit needed bonus. Enter the promo code Task Force. We'll see you next time. Until then, believe in the dream.